I'ma need safety. Tell her I can't snake me. Ray gun off safety. My girl so tasty.
This is Chitts Giggles Podcast with your lovely host, Yasmeen Chanel. Get into the beats, get into it. First of all, I did a lot for you guys this first episode, honey, okay? I wanted to make sure I came correct. I had to go make sure I got my hair, makeup done. You know what? Actually, I didn't get my hair done. I put on a wig, okay? I had to dust it off. But nonetheless, I look good for y'all, right? So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to Chitts and Giggles Podcast. I'm so excited to launch this first episode and talk my shit with you all. It's been a long time coming. I have my drink. I hope you have your drink. Every time you watch this episode, we are going to be sipping on something because we have to talk our shit. And you'll probably see as the episode progresses, it's like, that alcohol is hitting. Yes. So it's going to hit. Just, this is a safe space. Okay. Don't judge me if you see the alcohol is hitting. If you see me take off my leather jacket, pleather jacket. This is not real leather, but pleather jacket. Don't judge me. Okay. So if you're watching this, please pour a drink. I am drinking Dornfelder wine. It's a sweet red wine from Germany. It's really, really good. It's so cheap. It's like $10. My mom actually put me onto Dornfelder. So shout out to you, Mom. Love you. But yeah, I love Dornfelder. Like, I love sweet wine. I don't like, like tart wine or like bitter wine. I like sweet. So any sweet drinks, everything is sweet. Even me. I can be sour sometimes, but I'm mainly sweet. Don't pay me no mind, y'all. But yeah, so if you're watching this, pour a glass of wine. Cheers and toast to us. Toast to love, peace, happiness, blessings. Year 2022 is almost over. We are getting ready to step in year 2023. And I wish us nothing but the best. All right. So cheers. Let's go have a sip. That was more than a sip. That was like a gulp, but I'm gonna have another. Woo. That's some good wine. Woo. All right. So let's get into it. All right. Enough with the nonsense. Darn, I'm getting hot already, child. Lord have mercy. Okay. Yeah. Just so you know, I might just burst into a song here and there. Or sing sometimes, but that's just me. You're getting the real me. All right. So I know for all of you who see my personal Instagram, I come off super sexy and might be a sex symbol or, Instagram model, whatever you call them nowadays. But no, honey, that's all just for the aesthetics. Okay. It's all for content purposes only. This is the real me. All right. If I take the wig off, that's the real me. And you're still going to have to love me because we're already locked in. We're like this. If you're watching this already, that means you already tuned in. So that means you already have some type of interest of what I want to talk about or what I need to say, or you want to hear me talk my shit, something. Maybe you like my outfit. It doesn't matter. You're here. And I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. That means we're like this already. So once we locked in, we locked in. It's Gemini's. You get a little taste, you don't go back, honey. All right. But okay, so where do I start? So welcome. My name is Yasmeen Chanel. I am 29 years old, originally from Linden, New Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. Shout out to all my Jersey people. Okay. But now I live in Houston. H-Town. All right. Yeah. So I moved to Houston actually a year ago. It was 1 year ago last month. So October 10th, I moved to Houston. And yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a wild journey thus far. It's a lot to talk about. So let's see. Where should we start with my with my journey in Houston. So I ended up wanting to move to Houston because I came to Houston for one weekend over the summer and I had a really good time. Like, I'm talking about the first day I landed, Friday to Sunday. At the time, I know nothing about Sunday Fun Day. So, I was in a rude awakening on Sunday to understand, like, oh no, Friday and Saturday is like the pregame. Like Sunday is the day in Houston. Nonetheless, I was here Friday to Sunday, had a good ass time. I remember we were at Bar 5015 and I'm like, damn, yo, like I ain't trying to leave. Like it's lit. Like we having a good old time. People are out. We're drinking, smoking hookah. The food is really good. And I remember I told my friends, I said, yo, just so you know, like, I'm going to move here. And they're like, oh, okay, whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm going to move here. And they're like, okay. You know, like typical, like, okay, girl, like you going to Houston one little time, girl. You get outside one little time. We get it. You single girl this summer, but relax. Like now you want to move to Houston. And yeah, I went back home and I spoke with my job and, you know, did what I had to do there and reached out to some folks here in Houston, said, hey, I want to move, did an interview. That same week, got the job and told my friends, I think I told my friends and family the end of August, early September that I was moving to Houston because that's when I found out. And yeah, I moved to Houston October 10th, 2021. So shout out to my Houston anniversary. Hey. But yeah, so that was the continuation of my Houston story, right? But now getting into the other things that made me want to move to Houston. So outside of the Black excellence, the turn up, the love, it being Houston is just like a melting pot of everything, right? When I came here, it was just like, yeah, a lot of Black people, of course, but I love the fact that it was so diverse and I've never seen anything like it. I've traveled, you know, all over. I've traveled to a lot of states and I've never seen anything like Houston, Texas. So I wanted to move, but I also wanted to get away from some stuff in Jersey, right? So I was in a 5-year relationship and we had just broke up Juneteenth 2021. Like I said, we were together for so long, I really forgot what it was to be single because when I'm in a relationship, y'all, it's very much my man, my man, my man. All the time. Okay, like I'm Little Miss cater to you. Let me cater to you, cause baby, this is your day. Like that's me, like real bad, and that's why I'm always booed up, cause they know you're gonna win if you fucking with me. Okay. Anyways, I had to just talk my shit real quick. So I was happy to finally be single and finally take that leap of faith because I was holding on to something for 5 years that I probably shouldn't be holding on to. It should have ended a long time ago. I was very much so in love, but it was just a toxic space that I was in. So that also influenced me to kind of want to get away, right? I never took a bet on myself. And I remember talking to my friend Jazz, my best friend Jazz, shout out to you, after, you know, me and that person broke up. And I think we were talking about something just like life and goals and, you know, the future. Jazz is always manifesting her next move. And so I always go to her, you know, for advice. Because if it's anyone that's going to tell me like it is, it's Jazz. You always need that one friend. Ladies, if you don't, and guys, if you don't have that one friend that can tell you like, bruh, your breath stink, like then you need to get a friend like that. Cause that's Jazz for me. Like she'll be like, where you going? And she'll literally be like, I don't like your outfit. It's like, damn, I actually took some time to put this together. Like she is brutally honest, but I love it. And that's why I keep her around. She's my Carisha. We'll get into that later. You guys will be introduced to Jazz later. But yeah, nonetheless, I was talking to Jazz and somehow the conversation about betting on yourself came up. And I said, you know what? I actually never bet on myself now that I think about it. I played it safe when it came to school, my job, the men I date, risk with, you know, my goals and hobbies and what I want to do outside of work and outside of my 9 to 5. I play it safe every time. And I've never bet on myself. Like I never took a calculated risk. And I think it's time for me to do that. Like, what am I waiting for? Like, everything is in my favor right now. I don't have any kids. I don't have a dog anymore, at least. I started a new career. I'm thriving in this new career. I have the car of my dreams. I had just bought my BMW. Like, everything is literally just like working out for me. I'm like, blessings are raining down on me. I'm just drenched in blessings. And it was just like, hey, listen, you know what? You're right. I am going to bet on myself. I'm going to take this leap of faith, right? I don't know anyone in Houston, but one person, which was my high school sweetheart's cousin. Shout out to Natasia. I love you, girl. I know one person in Houston. I've only been to Houston once, but I know God is telling me this is where I need to be. So that's where I'm going to go. And just like that, I moved to Houston. And I moved to Houston October 6th, 2021. Yeah. So that was great. And shout out to just everyone who supported me, because that wasn't, it seemed like it was an easy move, but I actually had a lot of doubts. Because though I was single, that does not mean I was lonely. Okay. So I was definitely dating someone at the time. And yeah, I thought he was the one. I'm like, damn. I'm like, this motherfucker done just swept me off my feet, huh? I'm supposed to be outside, okay? I'm supposed to be outside this summer, and I'm texting and calling you every night. So I say that to say, it was definitely not an easy decision, but I put a lot of thought into it. Like, is this something I really want to do? I wanted to buy a house. I wanted to move. I wanted a new start. I wanted to, I don't want to say find my love and find my soulmate, because it wasn't like I'm out here looking for him. Like, I was like, where you at? Where you at? Like, no, I wasn't doing that. But, yeah, like, I'm not trying to be wasting my time. So if I have better chances of finding love in Houston, Texas, then that's where I'm going to move, right? But like I said, at the time, I was dating someone, and he seemed as if he was husband material, and like, I can really see myself with him. And this is how I know I was really like changing, right? And really putting myself first, which I have no regrets, right? And shout out to him. Me and him are still really good friends to this day. But our relationship, I won't say relationship, because we were never together, but we were exclusively dating, seriously dating, whatever you want to call it, right? But we were like this, and we were so locked in, even with us being locked in, and even with me feeling like this is possibly my soulmate and someone that I'm, falling in love with, kind of, right? I still said, I have to go. It's either you're going to come with me or you're going to stay. And of course, I wanted him to come, right? Because I didn't want to lose him. And I tried my best to try to get him out here. But obviously that wasn't happening, right? Like, you can't just pick up your life and move to Houston, even though it sounded perfect in my head. I'm like, so why can't you just like sell your house and move? Like, I'm so confused. Like, I thought you loved me, like, right? But yeah. And even with that situation, being in my life, I still said, no, I have to go. Like, I'm moving. Like, regardless of this, I'm moving. And if it's meant to be, it would be, because the old Yasmeen would be my man, my man, my man. I'm not going anywhere unless my man is going. And the new Yasmeen was like, you my man, my man, my man, but I'm also outside, and I also gotta go. And if you my man, like I think you are, then you will come with me, and we can be together, wherever I am. Correct? And I was just like, hey, that's my, that's just how I'm gonna go about things. So, like like I said, shout out to all three of my exes and situationships. You all had a role in me moving to Houston. I thank God for all of you in many different ways. I still have love for all of you guys. I'm definitely the double back queen. It's not a good thing. I haven't double back since I've been to Houston, just so you guys know. It's not a good thing, but I say that because I have really good relationships with all my exes. Like, I think I had tweeted that the other day in a sense of like, can we normalize like being cordial and having like a good relationship with your exes or your past situationships, whatever you want to call it? Like, why do you always have to have bad energy with them? Like, if it's not a really bad breakup, like, y'all should be able to be cool. And even the ex for 5 years who I said was like really toxic and all that stuff, like, even we were really cool for a while. We're not as cool right now just because of other things, but yeah, like we were really cool. So I say that to say shout out to all of y'all. I still love y'all. I still have mad love for y'all. I still wish y'all nothing but the best. You guys all played a role in helping me get to where I am today. And if you all didn't let me go, I wouldn't be where I am now with Poppy. Shout out to you, Poppy. You know who you are. But yeah, so that was me moving to Houston. And let me tell y'all something, okay? Woo, baby. First of all, let me take my jacket off because now we about to get into it. Let me take this jacket off because I am hot, y'all. All right. Woo. Lord have mercy. Sometimes I sing songs and I don't even know what songs I'm singing, child. I'll just be singing. Do. All right. So yeah, okay. So wait, let's talk about what prompted me to also start Chitts and Giggles. So during the pandemic, which we all know was freaking crazy. I'm trying my hardest not to curse because I curse like a sailor, but I'm sure you might hear a fuck, bitch, hoe, something at some point, but I'll try my best not to curse. And if I do, we'll probably bleep it out because I'm classy, not trashy. Anyway, what prompted me to actually start Chitts and Giggles, I remember, so during the pandemic, okay, so what prompted me to start Chitts and Giggles during the pandemic, my friends and I were in a book club. I was in the book club. Did I always read the book? That's neither here nor there. But nonetheless, I was in a book club. Shout out to Cover to Cover. I love all you girls. So we were in a book club. I believe Jazz and like Marquita and some other girls started it. I'm not necessarily too sure, but mainly girls from Montclair State. And obviously it's a book club. You're going to read books. And we would link up via Zoom every Sunday at 6 p.m. And even in a group chat, you know, we would always talk about the book. And then we would talk about other things and whatever was happening in the news, send each other memes, TikToks, and all that other stuff. And my personality, like, I would like to think and say that I'm the funniest one in the group, in all of my friend groups. Like, I'm the one with the shits and giggles. No pun intended. I'm the one with the laughs. I don't take life too seriously. Like, I'm bound to just say something stupid, crazy, or start some shit in a group chat, devil's advocate, whatever case may be. So I remember, you know, just in the group chat with Cover to Cover, I would always just start some shit. Like, anytime I see something on Instagram or, you know, TikTok or whatever, I would send it in a group chat. I'll start asking questions. If you know me, you know I love to talk, hence the podcast, right? And we'll just get the group chat going. And I started to think, I'm like, I really love like generating conversation. And like, I love stirring the pot. I love playing devil's advocate. I love challenging, you know, folks' opinion on certain things. And even if I agree, I pretend that I disagree just so, you know, I get the group chat riled up. Making jokes and just a whole bunch of stuff, right? Just nonsense. So, I think it was just like one day or one weekend. I was talking to my mom, and my mom's a Gemini too, so she has the same brain functionality as me. She's probably just a little bit crazier. It's like, no, mommy, I love you, but I was talking to my mom, and I was like, I want to start a podcast. And then I said, I need you to help me come up with a name. And my mom has a bunch of phrases. So you know how like Black moms, soon as you become a Black mom, it's like you automatically get like the playbook for like all Black mom phrases, because it doesn't matter like where you live, where you from, how your upbringing, as long as you are a Black mother, you have the same playbook as any other Black mother in the world. So my mother say ripping and running, hooting and hollering, better bust them suds, he hell, like all the Black sayings that moms say, right? Even the you better get your butters. You know how like moms, when they get really, really upset, they lips, it's like, okay, it should be like a tutorial. I don't even think, if you probably don't even need a tutorial, because if you're doing this, then you already know, because it's like you get the handbook as soon as you pop out your kid at the hospital. They give you like it's like an invisible handbook. No one else sees it unless you're like a mother, a Black mother. But you know how like moms go, you better get your ass in that motherfucking kitchen and clean them goddamn dishes. Yeah. So that, like, my mom, she has all of those sayings, and she just, she's just funny. Like, my mom sometimes is like the funniest person that I know, because she doesn't even think or know she's being funny. It's just like she just says things and does things where it's just like she's in her own world. And because she's a Gemini, I'm a Gemini, we act the same. It's like sometimes I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, yo, you're like really, really funny. And so when I told her that I wanted to start a podcast, she was like, Chitts and Giggles. And I was like, Chitts and Giggles. And she was like, yeah, for Chitts and Giggles. And I was like, for Chitts and Giggles. Because my mom says that all the time. Like, literally, how can I use this in a sentence? Let's see. Like, for Chitts and Giggles. So like, let's go do whatever for Chitts and Giggles. Like, just for fun. Basically, it's like for fun. Let's go do whatever for fun. But instead of saying for fun, you'll say for Chitts and Giggles, right? And so when she said that, I'm like, that explains me perfectly. Like, just for Chitts and Giggles. Like, I'm just a fun girl. Like, I don't take life too seriously. I knew when I wanted to start the podcast, I'm like, I don't really want to focus on like just one thing. Like, everyone was like, so what are you going to talk about? What is it that you're focusing on? What is it that I'm going to learn when I tune in? And I'm like, you might get a good laugh. Like, I'm not one of those girls who, super serious and take life too seriously. So I knew, like, when I start the podcast, I want to talk about whatever I want to talk about. Like, there's no limit on the conversation. There's no limit on topics. Of course, we can get deep. I'm going to always bring it back to a joke some way, somehow. That's just me and my personality. But I wanted it to be light, I wanted the podcast to be fun. So here you are, Chitts and Giggles, and voila. And actually, so I started Chitts and Giggles during the pandemic in the sense of like buying the equipment and, the name and the sign and all that stuff, and just the idea. Started the Instagram page, but just with life and then moving to Houston and just everything else happening, I just didn't make it a priority. Let's just say that. But now it is a priority. So I love it. So yeah, so let's now talk about me actually once I got to Houston. So let's talk about, okay, so I moved to Houston, like I said, October 6th, 2021. When I first moved to Houston, I was literally just on cloud nine. Cloud nine, okay? I knew at the time. So at first I thought I wanted to get a house. And then I said, you know what? I don't want a house. I want to do an apartment. I want to figure out what's what, who's what. I knew that if I were to get a house right now and I don't know anyone and I'm not in the in crowd, I'm not in the inner city, that I was going to regret it. So I said, I'll wait on the house. And then all the houses that I really liked were like really far out. And I was like, I don't really know if I want to move to Katy, Texas. And if you know about Katy, Texas, Katy is like the outskirts of Houston. It's very minimum streetlights, let's just say that. So I was like, yeah, single black female addicted to retail living in Katy, Texas. I don't think so. So, I ended up looking for apartments in the city. I live in Midtown now, and I found my beautiful high rise. I love my apartment. 2-bedroom apartment, 2 walk-in closets, 2 bathrooms, laundry room, a large balcony. Like, I'm just in love with my apartment. I thank God for this apartment all the time, and just even being blessed enough for me to be able to afford it, because it's not cheap. It's definitely cheaper than an apartment that I would have in New Jersey, right? But overall, it's not cheap. So moved to Houston, decked out my apartment, focused on the decor, and immediately I hit the streets. Immediately, I was outside. Shout out to Kat for putting me in contact with Jana. Jana was the first friend I made in Houston. So Kat is someone that I know from the Cover to Cover book club. And when I first moved to Houston, Kat said, yo, I think you would be really cool with one of my best friends. And I'm like, okay, who is she? Oh, her name's Jana. She's a travel nurse. She lives in Houston, but she's originally from New York. I said, okay, cool. She's an East Coast girl. Let me link with her. Let's see what's up. And, me and Jana, we linked and we were outside. My first weekend here, I was still living in corporate housing, and we were outside. We weren't outside like too crazy, but we were outside. We ended up going to a her concert. We went to a comedy show. And did we go to like a club or something? I don't think we went to a club. We did something. Nonetheless, we were just out. Like, you don't expect for your first weekend when you relocate somewhere, like, oh, okay, like, I'm going to be outside. I'm now, like, I'm about to be turning up, whoop-de-whoop-whoop-whoop, right? But I was. So, I met Jana. That was fun. Lived in corporate housing for about a month or so. And then ended up moving into my apartment in November. I moved into my apartment November 2021. Spent a couple months decking that out. And then after that was done, I said, it's time for me to start dating. Actually, no, I'm lying. As I was trying to deck out my apartment, I was trying to juggle a lot of shit, right? So it was deck out my apartment, make friends, because I'm a friendly girl. Like, I don't like to just sit in a house and look at the wall. Like, I like girlfriends. I like hanging out with girlfriends. I like building a support group, a sisterhood. So I knew moving to Houston with no friends or family outside of Natasha, I was going to need a support group. So I started right away. So I ended up getting on Hinge, child. Let's talk about Hinge. So if you know anything, if you're dating and you do online dating, then you know about Hinge. I have never done online dating in my life. I actually ended up getting on Hinge because my homegirl, Jenna, was like, hey, you're in Houston and you want to meet people. Instead of you going out by yourself looking like a weirdo every time, trying to meet people at the bar, download Hinge and you can meet guys or, whatever case may be. Hinge is not really a place like you can meet like girlfriends for friends, but if you want to meet girls, if you swing that way, then sure, whatever, right? But I don't. So it was more so meeting guys. So I say that to say, in November, when I first moved into my apartment, I'm trying to deck the apartment out, right? Like, you see how the studio is and everything is set up, even behind the camera. That all takes time. And I'm literally here by myself. I don't have my mom. I don't have my dad. I don't have friends. I don't have family who's here to help me. So I'm relying on the little bit of people I do know. And then shout out to TaskRabbit, because I use TaskRabbit literally for every freaking thing to help me get my apartment together. And my job did a really good job at relocating me here. When I moved from New Jersey to Houston, they literally packed every single thing. I'm talking about even down to my panties and socks. They packed. I didn't have to lift a finger. After they were done, I just signed and That was it. And then when they came and delivered everything, they unpacked it as well. So the moving part of things was easy, but I'm still here by myself. They unpack it, but they don't put it away. So I still needed that help of putting things away, which I did on my own. So shout out to me once again. And I had a lot of shit, by the way. But yeah, so I'm at the same time of me trying to get my permit together and do all this stuff. I'm talking to my girlfriends like, yo, you know, I want to meet some guys. Like, what's up with the dating scene? And ciao. Hinge. If you know anything about anything, Hinge is a no-go. I thought it was lit when I first got on Hinge, but no, it's not. It is not lit. I get on Hinge. Where do I start? It's so many stories. So I get on Hinge in late October, early November, right? Make my Hinge profile, the whole nine. The first guy I meet off Hinge, this guy, cool, we're talking, blah, 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 blah. Texting, we start off texting or whatever, you know, we exchange information. We start off texting. I'm not going to say his name. And then we graduate to like on the phone, and then we graduate to then FaceTime. And it was cute. It literally, this is all in like 1 week. So things are like moving fast, because when I'm dating someone, I'm not FaceTiming you like week one. Like, it's mainly text, and then, you know, you slowly go into talking on the phone. I don't say you slowly go into talking on the phone, but like at least FaceTime. Like, I don't think anyone's like FaceTiming someone you're dating in the first week. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I don't know. I feel like FaceTime is like super personal, like, you know, like, I don't know. So whatever. So, you know, we're texting, talking on the phone, FaceTime or whatever. I end up going out with my friends, and I end up running into him at the club. So mind you, this is also within the first month of me moving to Houston. So I meet him at the club or whatever. And everything's cool. We ended up going to Waffle House after the club. And I'm like, okay, I really like this dude. I didn't give him any nookie. I don't even think I really kissed him, because I'm still new to the city. I don't know what's what, who's what's going on, you know, what people have, nothing. So I'm just like, you know, I'm just trying to fill everyone out. But we end up, you know, hanging out at Waffle House after the club, and we had a really good time. Everything was really, really cool. And then I believe it's that following week. Child. Let me grab my drink, because y'all ain't gonna believe this. So I done told y'all I met him on Hinge. And I ran into him at the club. And then we end up hanging out at the Waffle House. So at this point, I'm liking old dude, right? Now I done seen you in person. I done ran into you at the club. You took care of me at the club. You made sure me and my homegirls was cool. Ended up going to the Waffle House. So we broke day. And we broke day. Because I didn't get home that day until like maybe like 5, 6 in the morning, because we were, you know, the Waffle House, they don't close, right? So we were literally in a Waffle House talking. How many kids you want? Oh, I want 3. Oh, you know, where do you want to live in the future? Where do you want to get married? Where do you see yourself? Like, literally, we're like, the conversation was so good. I was like, okay, like, I'm feeling you. Once again, I didn't want to go to third base with him, you know, but whatever. So, the next week, we're talking on the phone, and once again, we already graduated to FaceTime and, you know, all that stuff. So I remember I was doing laundry. We're talking on the phone. I have him on speaker, and I forget, but I think the conversation was something along the lines of, you know, tell me about a time when you was like in love and you felt like that person you was in love with got away. And why do you think they got away? Like, what happened? Was it your part? Was it their part? Whatever. We were talking about anyone we felt like got away, right? And he went first, and I'm in not literally, but I'm in podcast mode. If I ever talk to you on the phone, I'm always asking like dumb questions. I'm like, so what would you do, or like pick between, or what if, or this or that. Like I'm always asking like stupid. I don't say stupid questions, but I'm always asking questions. So I say, yeah, so like tell me about that situation, or like why did this person get away? Who's this person? And I'm doing laundry, and as I'm doing laundry, he's talking and he's like, yeah, well, this person got away because I went away. And so I'm just, folding my clothes. And then I'm like, say that again? And so he's like, yeah, well, when I went away, that's when I let them get away. And so I was like, I'm like folding my clothes, and I stopped folding. And I was like, went away. Wait, hold on. Went away where? Like, what do you mean went away? He's like, Shawty went away. No, Shawty went away. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about that. So he's like, yeah, I went away to prison. Child, I stopped folding where I was. I said, went away to prison. Where was you going to tell me that? You could have told me this at the Waffle House. Like, we was talking for 3-4 hours. That whole time we were talking about how many kids we want, what's going on, our future, where we want to get married. You could have said, oh, just so you know, I went to prison. Like you could have just threw that in there, and I would have been like, oh, okay. Like, because I was at that point, I was lit already. Like, child, we talking about life. Like, we could have easily talked about that in person. I probably would have never talked to you again afterwards. Nothing against people who went to prison, but that's just not my style. That's not how I roll. But nonetheless, like, you've been hot in this for a couple of weeks. So now that you done said it, now I have to dig deep, because that's just who I am. So I said, you went to prison? He's like, yeah. I said, okay. For what? I said, you ain't kill nobody, did you? And so he was like, nah. So I'm like, okay. Ooh. I was like, thank you, Jesus. So I'm like, but what you go to prison for? So he's like, well, I was in federal prison. I said, ooh. The feds. I said, bruh, the feds ain't nothing to play with, y'all. What you done did? And get off my phone. I don't want them tapping on my phone. Okay? What's going on? So he basically was like, long story short, he used to be a scammer. And I'm like, am I in Atlanta or am I in Houston? Like, what's up? Like, what's going on? He used to be a scammer, and he scammed one last time. And ended up getting caught by the police. And he was like, yeah, that was the day I actually said I wasn't going to scam no more. And that was the same day I got caught by the police. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, motherfucker. Like, yeah, the same day that you wasn't going to scam anymore was the same day you got caught by the police. Whatever, save it for somebody else. And so he was just basically like telling me how he used to scam, how he got into scamming, his cousin scamming or whatever. And honestly, I was like, I thought the Houston men were giving, because this is definitely not giving. It's giving scammer, and I don't do scammer. Okay, like And after he told me his story, I was just silent on the phone, because not saying I couldn't believe it, because it's not like I'm shocked to be like, oh my God, you used to scam. Like, I feel like everyone scams nowadays, right? I don't want to say everyone, but like, I'm sure at least one of us knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who used to scam, right? Or you might be the scammer. Hey, this is a safe space. I don't judge. So if you are a scammer, just don't scam me or my friends or family. Thank you. So, yeah. And so after he told me, he was like, so how do you feel dating a convict? And I was like, dating a convict? Whoever said we were dating, child? We're not dating. He was like, yeah, but we went to Waffle House. That was not a date. That was not a date. I ran into you at the club, and we just so happened to go get Waffle House because I was hungry. You never asked me out on a date. Therefore, we are not dating. Okay? We text. We talk on the phone. And then we FaceTime. But we are not dating. Okay? And I'm not dating a convict. And I don't feel any way about it because I'm not dating a convict, and I never will date a convict. So it's a no for me. So after that situation with Hinge, Yeah, I met like 1, 2 people here and there, not in person, but like, just texting, talking. And then I met somebody else on Hinge, where we actually end up dating for a while. But I couldn't get with it. Like, I honestly was like, yo, I thought the Houston men was giving. Like, y'all really not doing anything for me. And the second guy I ended up meeting on Hinge, I actually liked him a lot. Like, he was really cool. Child, he had the same name as my ex. But he was really cool, and tall, dark skin. Had a lot going for himself. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll get with this. But what I felt like is that, and this is what I started to learn about men in Houston. And for all the ladies, let me get comfortable, right? Because we talking our shit. So I'm gonna get comfortable. I need to feel like I'm at home now, right? So, duh, I am at home. So for all the ladies that are in Houston that you've dated in Houston and you know about the men here, you know what I'm about to say and you know what I'm talking about. The men in Houston literally think, not all men, a lot of men and most of the men, let me go through like some of the issues here. A lot of them feel as though that they are the bad bitch in the relationship. Not that they are the prize, because if you are a black man and you feel as though you're the prize, as you should, right? Because every day there's a target on your back some way, somehow, right? But there's a difference between knowing your worth and knowing you are the prize versus you thinking and then knowing, I guess, if, go ahead, Miss Mamas, that you are a bad bitch and that you are the bad bitch in a relationship. And I didn't know that about Houston men until the second guy I met on Hinge, where I was like, damn, I'm feeling old dude. He's cute. He's tall. He got a lot going for himself. He's an engineer. He's this, he's that. But then a lot of y'all, like him, think you are a bad bitch. Therefore, you think us women, should chase you, which we're not doing. Well, at least I'm not doing. And I know most of my friends, they're not doing it, which then causes a problem because you have 2 people who do really well for themselves, who want to be in a relationship, who probably have really big egos, right? Because if you're a bad bitch for women, right? If you're a bad bitch and you know what you bring to the table, 9 times out of 10, you have somewhat of an ego, right? Because you're not going to settle for no bullshit, right? You know what you're worth, you know what you want, and you know what you deserve. So if anything presented to you is anything less than that, nah, it's a no for me. And you're going to be quick to remind somebody why it's a no, because look, check me out. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Blah, 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 blah. Right. But when you have 2 people that are capable of being together and have potential of being together, but they both have egos. They both think they're a bad bitch. They both think they're the prize. It's like bumping heads. And I realized I thought it was just me with that one situation. And I was like so turned off because Jersey men and New York men, like men from the East Coast up north, they're not like that. Like if they don't like you or they don't want to fuck with you, it's, well, F you too then. Like, and they go about their business. You don't have to worry about, fighting back and forth with a guy from up north of like, oh, I'm a bad bitch, but you think you're a bad bitch too, and we're both competing to wear the skirt. Like, no, like absolutely not, right? But in Houston, I feel like the men to women ratio, like, is so off, right? Like it's a million women to very few men, in my opinion. In my opinion. Some might disagree, but from what I see, it's a lot of women in Houston. So I feel like that gives men, or men think they have the upper hand to then say, if you mess up today, I can go get another you tomorrow. So come correct, which then gives them a bad bitch mentality. And I'm doing this because that's what they might as well be doing. Like, I really want to call niggas Miss Mamas. Okay, sis. Like, it's only room for one of me. Why are we both competing to be the bad bitch? But I understand now because it's so many women here in Houston. And then the women here in Houston are literally throwing themselves at these men. So they think that they are that guy because they can get any girl. And ultimately, that's not even really the case. The women here in Houston, they're going to throw themselves at you if you have money, or if you look like you have money, if you party, you like to have a good time, if your chain is probably big. Yeah, they like those tacky ass rapper chains. I don't know why. You drive a nice car, you wear all designer, you're hosting a party, you're at address every Sunday, something like you pick and choose any one of those 10 things, right? That's an incentive for them to be like, that's who I want to fuck with. But that being said, once again, it's a lot of women here. So I feel like men think that, if you want to be with me and you want me to stop being outside, stop being in the streets, stop talking to this girl, then you need to prove to me why you're the one. Which sometimes I feel like gives them this bad bitch mentality. Like, no, I'm not proving to you anything. If you want to be with me, you're going to want to be with me. The same way how I want to be with you, I'm going to want to be with you. It doesn't matter what's going on. But though I disagree, I understand why they think the way they do. Because they have a bunch of options. I can't expect for a nigga sometimes to act right if he could go outside and he could have a new bad bitch tomorrow. He ain't gonna give a fuck about if I mess up or not. He waiting for me to mess up so he could talk to the shorty he just seen at HEB with the fat ass. He waiting. I can't wait for this bitch to start an argument. I just got shorty number in the parking lot today. I dare you, right? That's how these men think. And like I said, I don't agree with it, but I understand. So that being said, that was my main issue with the second guy that I met off Hinge. And I was like, okay, I got super turned off because, like I said, this was like my first time ever doing dating apps, online dating. I've never done that before. I've always been in a relationship. And then I'm like, damn, I thought Houston was where the men was at. What is going on? It's not giving what it's supposed to give. And shout out to my homegirl Marsha, because Marsha had she was coming out to Houston literally like every weekend. And I was telling her about my dating experiences, the men out here. And I'm like, yo, it's a lot of cute men, but I feel like they don't have it in them to pursue you. Like they're not consistent because once again, they're trying to entertain so many women. They can't focus on just one, right? And rightfully so. Like the women in Houston got some bad bitches. I can't lie to you. I cannot lie to you. The women you will see on Instagram, those bad Instagram models, they live in Houston. I can't lie. I'm not a lesbian. I don't swing that way. But I when I see a pretty female, I give her props. And Houston got a lot of pretty girls, okay? Some with natural bodies, some with fake bodies. Some you can't even tell. And guess what? A lot of these niggas don't even care. They don't even care if it's fake and look real. Whatever you got going on, as long as it jiggle, It is what it is, child. And as long as you got a pretty face, which most of them do, it is what it is. So, I say that to say, Marsha was in Houston, and if y'all followed me when I first moved to Houston, I was outside every day. And the reason why I was outside every day is because I was trying to figure out what a niggas at that I could fuck with, right? Because I'm talking to guys on Hinge. I'm talking to well, yeah, I'm talking to guys on Hinge. I didn't even meet any guys in person. You know, I was going out and trying to meet people, but I don't know, maybe guys in Houston just don't like coming up to you. But I was talking to guys on Hinge and it just wasn't working out, right? You had Mr. Convict, you had Miss Mamas. So I was like, all right, I'm done with Mr. Convict and Miss Mamas. Like, what else is going on? So, my homegirl, Marsha, was like, yo, we gonna go outside and we're gonna go to the club. Now, mind you, it is a Wednesday, but only in Houston can you go to the club on a Wednesday. So where did we go? We took our black asses to the club. Got real cute, dressed up in my little red dress. I actually had this wig on. It was I actually like fixed it up since then. But yeah, I had this wig on. Child, this wig must be good luck, honey. Let me find out, because that's when I met my man. So we go to the club. Shout out to Playground. We go to Playground, and we didn't plan on really being like outside, but anytime in Houston where you say, oh, let's go out, but we don't want to be outside, it's like it goes to one end or the other, because there's no way you can like go outside in Houston and not be outside. Like woo 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 woo, taking shots, bottles, all that stuff, right? So we're in Playground, and it was December 16th. And we were at Playground, and we were sitting at the bar, and once again, I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, listen, I'm not doing the online dating anymore. I don't really have the personality to like go up to a guy to be like, "Ooh, what's your name? But let me get your number." That's not me, right? Like, how I shoot my shot is like, I give you this look. Hold on, let me see if I can do the look. Hold on. It's like it's the wink too, ladies. If you see a man from across the room, I hope to like zoom in. When I do this look, zoom in, right? So you just, and then if you say, I have a wig and the way it's positioned, I can't tuck my hair behind my ear, but if I could, I would. But yeah, you just, and then you do a little hair tuck, and then you do like a little wink. You don't want to be too obvious, because clearly, like, I'm sure someone's looking at you. So you don't want them to think like, who the fuck is she like looking at, right? And then like, you don't want someone to think that you're looking like past them, and then you're actually winking at like the ugly guy, right? Because then it's like mission failed, right? Abort. But yeah, just do the little hair roll, and then you just, hey. And then you got to do a quick look away. So once you do that, and mind you, next time you go to the club, ladies, try this, right? So you look, and then you do like a quick look away. Like, yeah. So you want to look, and then look away. Quick. It has to be quick. I'm actually doing the look away, like the look really long, but it needs to be like in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So once you catch his attention, you do a and then you like go about your business, talk to your homegirl. Like, you don't even, who, what, where? Like, you don't even see him over here, but because you could see him, right? But he don't know that. I mean, he probably do. And if you do, that means that this is something there, right? But I say that to say, and there's another way how us girls also check out men. Ladies, I'm about to spill some tea. I mean, it's not really tea. I feel like dudes know. The walkthrough. That's my favorite, yo. Every time we go to a party, you get settled, you get your drink, you fix yourself up. You might go to the bathroom, you apply your lip gloss, whatever case may be. You look at your homegirl, you like, you ready for the walkthrough? Yeah. Yeah. Right? And you do the walkthrough. The walkthrough, we make a mark for the start and the finish. So we say we're going to start here, and we're going to finish here. And you literally are walking through the club. And as you're walking through the club, you don't want to be on your Naomi Campbell strut, right? Because it's going to be really obvious. Like, okay, girl, clearly you just got up so we can see you. So you don't want to be too obvious, but you want to put a little arch in your back, shoulders back, head up. You know, you sipping your drink. Maybe you got your shades on so they can see your eyes as you looking, trying to figure out who's who, what's what, who in here, who got a girl, who don't, who's single, who not, who look good, who don't, who looking like they got some money, who, you know, whatever case may be. But whatever, when you do your walkthrough, head up, shoulders back, arching your back. Right, and baby, let me tell you something. If you that girl, you know, every crew got that one bad bitch. Well, it's a couple bad bitches in some crews, but it's always that one where she either got titties or she got ass. And if you lucky, and if God bless you, you got both. She the girl that's going to lead the walkthrough. And you lead that walkthrough, and you looking, and then you get back to the seat, or you get back to your section, wherever you and your homegirl sitting, and y'all talk. Okay, so yeah, so over there at 15, you drop like coordinates, right? It's like, yeah, so over there to the left by the exit door, blue shirt, shades. Yeah. That's, he looks good. And then like you guys start talking about it. That's what, I mean, I don't know. That's what like me and my friends used to do. We haven't done that like lately, but, you know, you talk about like, yeah, we did a walkthrough and okay, yeah, he cute, whatever. And when you do that walkthrough, it's basically you're putting yourself out there. Like a woman who's in a relationship or who's taken, they shouldn't be doing a walkthrough. But if I'm doing a walkthrough and I'm walking past you, and when I walk past you, I'm going to do my, remember, I'm going to do that. That means that I'm available. So, I mean, now it's up to you. Like, I already shot my shot. I walked past you and I gave you the, like, what else do I need to do? Like, godly, I need to come over and give you my number? Like, shit. So, anyway, I say that to say, me and my homegirl at Playground, and at this point, it's a Wednesday. I'm tired, but she trying to go out. I'm here already, right? So I got my little dress on, I got my wig on, I got my shoes, my little red bottoms, and we're sitting at the bar. Playground wasn't like super lit that night. It was like, okay, it was like whatever. So we're sitting at the bar, and Kay walks up, right? And I didn't know him to be Kay at the time. So let me not say Kay, because it's gonna make it seem like I already knew him. My man, my man, Kay, whatever you want to call him, right? He walks up, and he was actually walking past me to go to the bathroom, but I hit him with that motherfucker stopped in his tracks. He ain't even have to pee no more. He's saying that, well, I didn't do this because remember, like I said, it's a wig. So, you know, it comes down a little low. So I can't tuck it behind my ear. But, you know, I did the fake. I didn't even tuck it anywhere. I just did the, you know, and you got to make sure like your fingers, it's all about the positioning, guys. Like, you know. So once I hit him with one of these, I caught him in his tracks, baby. He was going to the bathroom. He didn't even have to pee no more. He forgot where he was going, child. He double back. So ladies, if you think it don't work, it do. And we've been together ever since. It's about to be our 1 year. Shout out to you, boo. Hey, Poppy. But yeah. And so when we first met, I was so like thrown off because I'm like, okay, who's this dude? It's a Wednesday. You in a club, I'm in a club. I know I'm in a club, but why the hell you in a club on a Wednesday? So like, what's going on here? And in my head, I'm already thinking, oh, he just like the other dude I just met. Would you think you a bad bitch or whatever case may be? And when he first started talking, he had an accent. He had an English accent. So that threw me off. It was interesting, but I was like, okay. And then he was dressed like he was from England. He had on, I think, like a turtleneck and a blazer in the club. So I'm like, okay, where's this guy going? Who are you? And what's happening? And from the rip, he was just so nice. If you've met Kay, any of my friends or family who's met Kay, who's met Poppy, you know that he's just a sweetheart. So, you know, from the first second I met him, he talked about the look. Ladies, he talked about the look. He was like, I love the way you look at me. He was like, that's what made me come over here. I'm like, I know. It gets some every time. It's like, nah, I didn't say that, but that's what I really wanted to say. And yeah, so we talked or whatever. We exchanged numbers, and we've been together ever since. Now, it's been a roller coaster, okay? It's been a lot, but nonetheless, we are in a great space. We have our date nights every week. He's my biggest supporter. He's the executive producer slash director slash pre-production slash post-production slash everything for the podcast. Though I give him a lot of crap, I love him dearly, and I appreciate you, honey. So yeah, guys, so we done talked about my past relationships. We done talked about me moving to Houston. We done talked about me getting to where I am now, and up into this launch. So, you know, this is the first episode, y'all. I really just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself, or a lot of bit about myself, talk my shit a little bit, you know, tell you why I wanted to move to Houston, tell you what prompted me to move to Houston, what I love about Houston, my dating life in Houston to now being with my man, and me being happy. And I'm really looking forward to the second episode. I'm really looking forward to creating more content for you guys. Having some of my friends on from back home in Jersey, talking about our friendships and our situations and talking about some topics. So there's this podcast and this, well, not this podcast, but this episode, was more so all over the place because this is just my personality, right? Like, I wanted to talk about everything that goes on in my head right now. And I didn't want to have like just one subject or anything. I want you to get to know my personality, for you to get to know a little bit about me, so that when you tune into the second episode, as I'm talking or when I say certain things, it's like, oh, I already know that about Yas. Or Yas to say this, or Yas to say that. So yeah, let me see. What else am I missing? I have a dog. He's on punishment right now. His name is Jersey. Jersey's on punishment because he actually, child, I get upset talking about it. He done chewed a hole in the sofa and in my good pillows. My good pillows from Home Goods. So now I gotta go to Home Goods tomorrow to get some new pillows. But yeah, Jersey's my dog. He's on punishment though right now. He's in the other room probably, you know, just listening by the door, sniffing by the door, because that's what he does. Yeah, guys, I mean, I don't really know what else you want to know. I'm a Gemini. My favorite color is green. My favorite number is 7. I know how to rap really well. Like, I honestly should have been a rapper. Let me see. What song y'all want me to rap for you? Ooh, I could go a cappella. Hold on, let me see. We gonna save that for the next episode. You thought I was about to rap. Now we're gonna say that for the next episode. But yeah, so that's really honestly pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you all. By this point, as you see, my legs are folded. I'm comfortable. I done took my pleather jacket off because we've been talking our shit. So before we go, I'm gonna have another glass. And we are gonna toast. This is a really, first of all, where am I going? Child, I'm about to be talking to y'all for another hour. How much time we got? Please stay tuned, okay? Because I done poured literally the whole bottle is basically gone. No, I'm not an alcoholic, but this wine is really good and it's like really easy to drink. Like, you can literally like drink a whole bottle and not even know. Okay. So let's see. How do we want to close this out? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 1 of Chitts and Giggles Podcast. I hope you had a great time. I hope you love listening to me talk my shit. Thank you so much for tuning in to listen to me talk my shit. Stay tuned for episode 2. We're going to talk some more shit. I have some more stories for y'all. I hope you got to get to know a little bit about me in this first episode, because for those who know me, you guys get it, right? But for those who don't know me, who we need to be like this, right? After this episode, we like this. You needed to know some stuff. So hopefully I didn't spill too much tea, but I gave you enough to run with, okay? So thank you guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Bye. See you next episode.
The town only blue sheets when they pay me now. Treat a setback like a step back. Wave. I got the game in a vice grip. Way up when the virus clear. All my niggas on the